na na na. It's only love in the ladies' room. It's love in the room. It's love in the room. Well, if it's in our loving tongue, baby, it's love in the room. Don't whine on me here, lady. It's love in the room. If he wanna fight and stray, it's love in the room. We playing with House Monday in the ladies' room. Don't worry, us. She's safe. You're giving topic to Aruna. Study your place. Your woman outside with cousin all day. You can't see face. The story end up on ladies' room. You disappear without trace. Voila. If all she know is papi show and stress outside, is love in the room. If you wanna have to girl, take care, they bust the files. Well, if it's in her loving tongue, baby, it's love in the room. Don't whine on me here, lady. It's love in the room. If he wanna fight and stray, it's love in the room. We playing with House Monday in the ladies' room.
And we are back in the room for today, April 16th, Wednesday, April 16th. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another ladies' room. And this morning, it is going to be a serious morning with a lot of information because I thought it necessary. Listen, this man does not come here and not make sure that he makes sure that I'm good, right? So came by as always with all the stuff that I need, and I'm like, we have to do something. We have to go live. We have to share the information because it was only last week I was sharing information regarding my friend, my childhood friend from Granborough, diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer that is spreading to other areas of her body and requiring assistance through the form of a GoFundMe. She's currently in hospital and all of that, and we passed on that information. And had so many of you in the chat speaking on other people who are battling cancer, who probably died from cancer. And it seems as though the conversation these days, soon as you hear somebody die at a young age, soon as you ask, well, what was wrong? Well, cancer, and it definitely has no respect for anybody. You could be rich, you could be not so rich, you could be for what religious denomination, you can be black, pink, white, it does not matter, male, female. It is doing a number on the world right now. So my friend Patrick Delves is here with me, and like I said, it is going to be an informative session, and I wanted to share with you. So we're going to jump into it as quickly as, because it's a lot of information and a little time we have, and he's a busy man because I'm sure the minute he sits here, his phone will be going off every second. One of the hardest person to get through to on planet Earth. I call him the Prime Minister and the President because his phone is constantly going. All right, so if I have not begged you guys in a long time to share, I am asking you to do so this morning because I really want the word to get out. All right. Morning, Shante. Please do me a favor and tag as many people as you can and share the live as much as you can. Luke, good morning. I see you. Good morning, Valerie. Jackie, good morning. No cloud on fame. Good morning, Melvin Brown. And men, you need to be here too because prostate cancer it's definitely doing a number as well. I gave you the stats, was it about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where Grenada ranked number one. Yeah, prostate cancer. So we have to make sure the message is disseminated. Good morning, Carrington. So tag your brothers, tag your husbands, tag your boyfriends, etc., your sons, and let them come in the room to be part of the conversation. Nissy, good morning. Denise, good morning. Who else is here? Marvin, Jay Laborde, Roxanne, good morning. Please, guys. Clarina, good morning. Please, please, please share the live today, guys. Lindy, Narissa, Rachel, everybody, just hit the share button and let's get more folks on the program. Dujana, good morning. Lisa, good morning. Someone says, I attended a symposium last week, and that was one of the topics, the rise of cancer in younger people, especially women, and prostate cancer in men. Yep. Good morning, Queen Bee. Good morning, Shawnee. And of course, good morning to our listeners on radio 95.1, 95.3. And if you're viewing the stream on Facebook or YouTube, welcome, welcome, welcome. And of course, a special thank you to our friends at Nirvana Spa and Detox, Beacon Insurance, and Western Union for powering up our morning show. All right, so we're jumping right into it. While we're starting, Terrence Wells, do me a favor. You're in front of the class. Nice. I want everybody to come to the front of the class today. If you're on radio, listen attentively and share the information. Come on in the room, share, hit highlight, hit at followers, and please, please, please share. All right, so we're going to jump right into it. My brother, good morning. How are you doing? How are you doing? Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, fighting the struggle. Busy, but I'm alright, you know.
You're busy, but you're all right, you know. And I just want to say thanks for always looking out for me.
Oh, you know that.
Without a doubt, I don't even have.
Since-
And you know what's funny? I don't know if, like, lately I've been noticing that every time my mind runs on somebody to either message them or do something, they end up messaging me.
Yeah.
Because you messaged me yesterday and I'm trying
I
to
said I'm
figure out.
home.
And you're like, I'm home. I'm like, could you believe I actually was messaging? Because I'm looking at your Facebook postings and I'm like, my supply ran out. I need to know where you are. How can you stock me up? How can you set me up and all of that? And there you are. Here you are, me this morning, and I'm so grateful for you and the work that you're doing, man. You're working, you're fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
And I mean,
It's a
I just wanted to
solution.
break it down for us before we get into, you know, what's really going on, and, you know, to share some of the stuff you bought for me, the uses and what it's intended for. Behind the scenes, we were talking before we went live, and you were saying, you know, that cancer is ravaging the world right now.
especially
Ravaging.
You know, also
And you mentioned Grenada as well.
in during the pandemic, you had the brother who was in charge of the medical system here, chief medical officer, I would say.
Come a little closer.
Yeah, the chief medical officer would say,
Mhm.
and he said that COVID took over from cancer.
Mhm.
While COVID was blasted in 2021,
Mhm.
after COVID died down, cancer took the number one stage again in Grenada alone.
Mhm.
And it's not only here, it's in St. Lucia, it's in Trinidad and Tobago, it's all over.
Mhm.
Yeah, and breast cancer is on the rise in women because we lost 600 and almost 80,000 women to breast cancer alone in 2022.
600 and how much?
600 and about 80,000 women died from breast cancer in 2022. And 90% of the women who died from breast cancer did chemotherapy, radiation, surgery,
Mhm.
yeah, or took tamoxifen,
Mhm.
which is a 5-year survival rate.
Mhm.
So although some women remove their breast, they still die from cancer. And that's because in the medical system, they don't think out of the box, whereby all they know is surgery, all they know is radiation, and all they know is chemotherapy. That's what they know. So that's what they apply. So they can take off the breast
Mhm.
that have the cancer, but the cancer is still there. So from my experience with lots of women who remove the uterus, like a friend called Paula Knox,
Mhm.
that's why I was very angry at the medical system, because they took out her uterus, they took out her ovaries, they took out the cervix, they took out the tubes,
Mhm.
and she gave her chemotherapy for a year and a half, and she still died from cancer. You know what I'm saying? And they had her on oxycodone. You see what I'm saying? So although you can remove the breast that have the cancer or the uterus that have the cancer, one cell might get away. And that's the reason why they say to you, after a mastectomy, they say to the woman, well, we have to give you some chemotherapy. So if you remove my breast that have the cancer, and you say, okay, I get all your cancer cells, why do you want to give me chemotherapy? Because they know for a fact that one cell might go over, get away and hide. And that's a problem that we have. And so we have to really educate not only our women, but we have to educate doctors also, because I'm working with, as you said, I showed you a while ago, I'm working with a holistic oncologist from Africa. And I'm working with another oncologist from Connecticut, because he saw that I was treating women who had breast cancer and they was free, and trying to figure out what I did. You see what I'm saying? So there are other things that we can do to help our women to not only prevent breast cancer, but also to treat it at a certain level.
So that's where I want to start with the prevention, because if you don't have it, there's nothing to take care of. But if you can prevent it,
Right.
what are some of the methods? What are we doing that is, bringing with that we've seen this onslaught of breast cancer and all of that? What are we doing to contribute to that?
Well, a lot of things contribute to women getting breast cancer. Number one is hormones. So if the woman is under 50 and she's still having a period, meaning that she's producing lots of estrogen, she can get ER. But a lot of women also can get ER even though they're postmenopausal too. Although they're not producing estrogen, they could get ER too.
What is ER?
Estrogen receptor breast cancer.
Okay.
So it's estrogen driven. See what I'm saying? Now the woman who is under 50, she is more prone to get ER, HER, or PR. PR is progesterone too, or DCIS, ductal carcinoma in situ. That's in the nipple of the breast, in the middle ducts. And then you have the BRCA gene breast cancer. That's a difficult one to repair because that's triple negative. So that kills you kind of fast. So lots of women is under the influence of man-made estrogen because it's xenohormones. Lots of women are under they eat a lot of food that have these hormones. So we're talking about chicken, cheese, eggs, milk, plastic bowls, plastic cups. They're the culprits. Xenohormones. See what I'm saying? So they put themselves at risk of getting breast cancer, ER, that is estrogen receptor breast cancer. Then you have environmental. So it can come from the environment. You have DDT. These are compounds that found in different, even raisins too have it too. You see what I'm saying? Raisin, cheddar cheese. So women have to look at these are the culprits. And then when you look at the culprits, then you can prevent these foods, and there's a possibility you might prevent yourself from getting breast cancer. ER, that is. And HER and PR.
So you mentioned some of the foods. What are some that we should be eating more of that, will act as a deterrent, basically?
Oh, well, I was talking to my friend Kurt on the way here, and I was saying to him, look at Japan. Look at China. Breast cancer is unheard of, in those countries.
Why?
Because they use a lot of soy. You see what I'm saying? And soy have two compounds. One is called genistein, one is called diastin. And because doctors are not educated, they will say to the woman, don't use soy, because soy is estrogen, but he don't tell them it's phytoestrogen. See what I'm saying? So we're looking at estradiol, and we're looking at estrone. And those are what we call the angels of death. Because they're hormones, that's estrogen. So the estradiol and the estrone is the angel of death. And the estriol is the angel of light, of life, not light, life. So we try to teach the woman that in order for her to prevent breast cancer, you have to look at the estriol. And that comes from genistein and diastin, from fermented soy, not tofu. You see what I'm saying? But fermented soy. See? And that's why the women in Japan and in China don't get breast cancer. Because they use these compounds from these soy products that prevent what we call angiogenesis. Doctors don't teach them that either. So genistein and diastin prevents angiogenesis, meaning that they don't make your cells create blood vessels to feed and grow. You see what I'm saying? It's technical, but a lot of women have to understand that,
So that's what we're here for, to help us get a better understanding of breast cancer and how we can prevent it. Like you said, our eating habits have changed drastically over the years, and we're more into processed and fast, and not necessarily eating. You love talking about the rainbow diet and eating more natural foods, and cutting back on the processed and the meat and all of that. And like I said, you're here this morning basically to teach us how to make changes. It would not happen overnight,
Nah.
but if we start,
Difficult.
if we make a start at some point.
I'm gonna mention a few things too. The brass strap cause cancer too. The breast.
Just like,
Yes, ma'am.
what do you mean it causes like
Brass
how?
strap. Yeah. I always tell women when you get home, take
But
off
that's the
your
first thing I do.
take off
As
your
I wa-
bra
as I walk
when
through
you
the
want to get
door.
home. Take it off. You know what I mean? Make it jump around. You know what I'm saying?
So what does your bra?
Because the brass straps constrict the blood vessels or the blood from moving
Because it's tight.
very tight and cause breast cancer. That's a culprit. You know, people know that. You know.
I didn't know that.
Number two, once a woman and once a child have a period at 8 or 9 years old,
Mhm.
she's more prone to get breast cancer too at an early age.
But we have children getting periods at
That's what I'm
earlier
saying, because the food
age.
chain is different now because it's a hormone in the foods. In the olden days, a girl used to have a period at 12, 13,
Mhm,
14, not
14.
anymore. It's 8 and 9.
Mhm.
And that's because the food chain is totally different because all the hormones in the foods. And the children are more bigger in size now than before. So we
Mhm.
have to look at all these things, you know?
Someone here is saying, but it is said that soy is not good because what we are getting is genetically modified.
Yeah, and this person is right. That's why we go to tempeh and miso.
Mhm.
They are fermented and they're not GMO. So tofu is garbage.
Mhm.
The black soy they have, the soy they have, the soy chunks is garbage. That's no good.
So people eating this thing, you know,
I think it is good
healthy
soy.
and
That's
it's
not good soy. You have to go to the fermented soy.
What are those that we get? What is it made of? What's in there?
What's that?
The soy.
It's a bean.
Uh-huh.
You see, it's like you have almond nuts, you have soybeans, you have pinto beans, you have this beans and that
Mhm,
beans.
mhm.
So what they
Kidney
do is
beans.
they take these beans and they make it into these products. But if you have the beans and they ferment it, like you could do fermented alfalfa, it's more effective because it releases all these compounds that prevent cancer and even treat it. See, but when you go into the one that is just GMO, genetically modified, it's going to give you cancer eventually. So I don't use those.
Alright, so you mentioned the brass straps, brass straps. What else?
Brass strap environmental toxins.
Mhm.
We talked about the age bracket of a child having a period at about 9 years old.
So, mhm.
She's more at risk of that. The BRCA gene, the junk gene. Not because the BRCA gene, a lot of doctors don't tell women that the BRCA gene is a protector from the woman getting breast cancer. They don't tell them that, you know. So when you go like Brad Pitt's wife took out her 2 breasts because she had the BRCA gene,
Mhm.
but they don't tell the woman that
And I
if
think
the-
also her mother died from breast cancer or
Right,
something. So
because she
took
was
it out.
BRCA, they took it out. So you have the BRCA1, BRCA2 gene. So BRCA1 and BRCA2 gene can give you ovarian cancer. It can give you pancreatic cancer. It can give you colon cancer. It can give you breast prostate cancer too. So you have to know the genes. But if the gene is a junk gene, J-U-N-K, junk gene, then you, the woman, is more at risk of getting breast cancer because it's BRCA gene cancer. But the BRCA gene in reality supposed to protect you, the woman, from getting breast cancer. But when it become a junk gene, now you are at risk of getting triple negative breast cancer.
Men, hold on. We're coming to you with the prostate in a minute. Hold on. You're not being left
Yes,
out of the
ma'am.
conversation. Hold on.
I'm saying,
So, walk us through some more preventative measures. And you gave me this. How do you pronounce this?
it's anti-cytokine inflammation.
This.
Yeah.
What does this do in this little bottle?
All right. When I found out that a lot of women have ER breast cancer, and a lot of men who have prostate cancer too, and even sarcoma cancers, although it's difficult to fix sarcomas because they're very fast moving. What I did was I looked at the women who have ER, HER, and PR and DCIS breast cancer. What happened to these women is especially the women who have ER, estrogen receptor breast cancer, estrogen driven, her macrophages is being fooled by the cancer cell. You see? So the macrophages, which is the part of the white blood cells, and they are found in the woman's in our lymphatic system with the T lymphocytes. So what these macrophages do, the cancer cell fool them and make them start creating what we call cytokine. Cytokine storm is the inflammation, and in the process, these macrophages start creating a factory of cancer cells too, because of the cytokine storm.
So that's why you call this
Anti-cytokine.
So it's going to work against it.
Yes, and to prevent inflammation, because once you prevent the macrophages and the T lymphocyte, because they both can create cytokine storm. Although this natural cytokine is not a bad thing, but when they start to create a cytokine storm now, then what happens to the woman is her Th2 lymphocyte rises. And that's a bad guy. And then the Th1 lymphocyte drops. That's a good guy. So what that does, that anti-cytokine formula does, it prevents the macrophages from creating more inflammation and more factories of cells. But in the process, it is now also dropping the Th2 lymphocyte and raising the Th1 lymphocyte.
So you're raising the good one,
yes,
and lowering the bad
so the
one.
Th1 is the woman protector, which prevent or get rid of the tumors, and the Th2 is the one that gives the tumors in the breast.
Well, what happened to the days of high blood pressure and some diabetes?
That's gone through the window on.
What
That's
what people died from, and at an older age.
Yeah.
You're having babies dying from cancer.
We have a 2-year-old now that have in Grenada who have leukemia, myeloid leukemia.
2 years?
2 years old, yeah. And we just lost a 5-year-old in Grenada to cancer, sarcoma cancer too. So the cancer that affect little children is more sarcomas. Is a cancer of the tissues and the muscles, and it make their joints swell and they die faster because it's I call it the popcorn cancer. It's very fast moving. It's difficult to fix that. So a lot of children dying from that cancer too. So, we have to be how we eat. So I always tell people, women, that if you are constipated, you're going to get breast cancer eventually as a woman. Don't be constipated. That's a key. You have to move the bowels on a regular basis.
How regular is regular?
Every 3 times per day at least. You eat 3 meals per day, you're supposed to go to the bathroom 3 times per day. You eat 1 meal per day, you're supposed to go 1 per day. But a lot of people eat 3 meals per day and go to the bathroom once per day. The other 2 meals are still backed up because of how they combine the foods together. You see what I'm saying? They eat the food in an incompatible way. You see, but that's what we were taught.
That's what we were taught.
Yes, I'm saying rice and peas, rice and fish, rice and chicken.
Rice, and you still have some provision on the side.
Yes,
You have
I'm saying.
some potato
But they're all
salad.
acid foods though. Because starches are acids, proteins are acids, fats are acid, and all the acids. So when you eat them together, you're going to have a backup of the foods staying in the digestive system and not moving properly. And then your liver now supposed to turn your estrone. Listen, women, your liver supposed to manufacture, break down, and excrete or turn estrone into estriol. Estrone is an angel of death. So the liver converts it and it turns it into estriol, which is the least effective estrogen. Send it into your bowels. So you, the woman, supposed to have a bowel movement and move all these estrogen levels out. If you don't have,
So if you're eating 3 times a day and having one bowel movement,
where the other 2 meals at?
so it's
Stuck
still
up in your
there.
belly, yeah, in your intestines. It contributes to you getting what we call formaldehyde, it's ketol, Crohn's disease, diverticulitis, mucus colitis, ilitis, all the inflammation.
So how do you what do you do to have a bowel movement? More fiber, what do you do?
Well, how you combine your foods together. So I don't really eat yam and tanya. I don't eat them food, the starches. I always tell people to eat the food that is over the ground and under the ground. Because the food that is under the ground, although some of these food have these compounds called carotenoids and terpenoids, like sweet potato does, you have that. But if I'm under the ground, they're more starch. So most of the food like yam, tanya, dashing potato, they're under the ground.
Tomorrow I'm planning to eat real provision Good Friday.
They're more starches and they're more acid foods. And then you have to eat the food that's more over the ground. Because the food that over the ground, they have a lot of fiber too, but they have more carotenoids.
Foods like
grapes, lettuce,
with the seeds.
the seeds, with the seeds. And the food that is over the ground, they have more terpenoids, they have more flavonoids, they have more carotenoids, and they keep the veins and capillaries strong, so that cancer can stick there. So if you have cancer and you want to prevent the cancer from spreading, what you have to do is create what we call strengthen the blood vessels, because that's what the cancer needs. The cancer need blood.
Someone is asking who goes to the bathroom 3 times a day.
I
does.
do. Yeah. I eat once per day. I go to the bathroom twice per day. So what you eating? You see, if you eat a food that is compatible, you would go to the bathroom 3 times per day. Trust me, I know.
What is compatible foods?
Well, you're not supposed to eat yam, tanya, potato with chicken or rice, or chicken or fish, because they're incompatible. Yeah. So let me ask you a question, right? Let me ask the audience a question. Where does starch break down? In your mouth. By producing the amylase enzyme in the saliva. So when you chew a piece of potato, if you chew it for too long in your mouth, you're going to turn to sugar. Am I right or am I wrong? That's reality. When that potato gets into the stomach, the acid that the stomach produces kills the amylase that breaks down the potato, the starch and the rice. So it can't stay. So the potato have to move. And it go into the small intestines. and then your small intestines with the pancreas produce a little bit more of that amylase to finish the digestive process of your potato in your intestines.
So then a lot of us backed up then.
I'm trying to tell you.
A lot of
You see what I'm saying?
A lot of us carrying around
No,
2-3 days.
Chicken, fish, pork, beef, they're proteins, right? They need protease.
Mm-hmm.
When you eat a chicken get into the stomach. What happens to the chicken? Also, the acid kills the protein that brings the chicken down. But the chicken have a backup called pectin that resists the acid. So all protein digests in the stomach. So you eating a piece of potato with a piece of fish, and fish take 12 hours to digest. Chicken takes 7 hours. So you eat them together. When they get into the stomach, what happens to the potato? It can't move. It becomes idle. And when it's being idle, it causes fermentation. Fermentation causes acids. And then the body becomes too acidic. See, so that's why I'm saying that a lot of these dietitians, they make us eat what we call a pyramid diet, where you're having all these food groups in one plate. You know, that's what they were taught. I don't understand that. But I'm saying to them, if that diet was so sung and proper.
Someone here saying, "Oh my God, I don't even go to the bathroom daily."
Right. Now, if that pyramid diet was so good and proper, how come the majority of people who is eating that way, hospital full of them? Eating full of me. You see me? It's full of them.
Someone here saying they don't go to the bathroom daily.
You must go to the bathroom every day as a woman, because if you don't, your liver will never be able to break down or to convert that estrogen into estriol. And then if you're a woman, you won't get colon cancer. Number one, you're prone to get that. You're prone to get Crohn's disease. You're prone to get colitis. You're prone to get IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. You are prone to get fibroids as a woman. You are prone to get ovarian cysts as a woman. You are prone to get PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome as a woman. And you're prone to get breast cancer faster. You're not going to the bathroom as a woman on a regular basis. It's reality. And no doctors could do that either.
I have some of my listeners sweating this morning. They were
let a doctor come on your live and sit Patrick's line. They can't. I'm speaking facts. It's reality. You must go to the bathroom. If your sewage system, which is 20 feet outside your house, is clogged up, you come back into your bathroom, right? Your toilet bowl, right?
Yes.
You're going to smell, right? Same thing will happen with us. If that sewage system called the large intestine is not moving waste matter out, it's going to cause us troubles long term. That's common sense. It's a common sense thing. You have to move waste matter out. If you're not, you're going to have trouble in your brain. But the brain needs nutrients. You know, the heart needs nutrients. The kidney needs nutrients. They all need nutrients. And if you're constipated, you're going to get liver overload. And if you have liver overload, you're going to get trouble eventually.
Okay, let me just show them on the camera. So we have a lung, heart, kidney, spleen. What is this?
In Chinese medicine, we have meridians. Meridians are channels that move from, I think if Miss Denise Taylor is looking at, I think she's looking at the program. She's studying Chinese medicine now, so she knows what I'm talking about. There are channels. So each you have what we call meridians, and each organ have meridians. So what we do is we use herbs that help the meridians to move. So that product they call lung, heart, and kidney. It's good for people who have asthma, because we're working on the lung. So we have there's a herb called mawang, and they're called it's a Chinese plant called ephedra. Is mawang is a Chinese name, and there's another herb called lobelia. So they act as antispasmodics. And then I know for a fact that the lung controls the heart, and the heart controls the lung. So usually, if you have asthma, it can affect your heart. So I put a herb in there called Hortenberry for the heart. And if you have troubles in your heart, you have troubles in the kidney. So I put a herb called Romania for that.
So what is a stem cell?
The reason why I created a stem cell, because remember that our stem cells can be immature. And if they're immature, they can cause cancer, like multiple myeloma. If they cancer the bones and the nerves, and you could cause what we call non-Hodgkin lymphoma, B diffuse Hodgkin lymphoma. So what I did was I studied the plants in there. Guess what? One herb and they call cocoa. Or you have in Grenada. Good for the stem cell.
Like cocoa.
Yeah, a lot of playing all these things. People are uneducated. Cocoa in Grenada, the cocoa from the cocoa plant. You eat that stem cell. It prevents the stem cell from becoming immature.
Growing up, we used to just crack cocoa.
Because we know.
And I'm like, that's why I'm saying, like, growing up, we never heard of cancers, you never heard of sicknesses, because everything you ate practically was behind your house.
Right. So what
I
did
remember
was
as a child going to crack some cocoa and you.
Yeah, turmeric. Good for the stem cell. But because they don't, and these are studies by John Hopkins University and other big, but they don't tell us. They don't want us to know these things. So the plants in there, they will help to repair the stem cell. That's what we call a stem cell formula. It repairs the stem cells to good for people who have sickle cell anemia too.
And the bone marrow formula.
Right. The bone marrow is because in the bone marrow you have the yellow marrow, you have the red marrow. The yellow marrow is more for fats. The red marrow is more for red blood cell, white blood cell platelets. So a lot of people who have trouble in the marrow, like if a person has what we call hypothalassemia, that affect the red blood cells and it also affect the platelets too. So I created that product for that to help the marrow to stay healthy through the spleen. Because if you have spleen quick or spleen deficiency, it can affect the bone marrow also.
And then we have the circulation formula.
Yeah, that's for varicose veins. It's for people who have hemorrhoids. It's for women who have ED. They can't function because the penis is dead.
Fellas, don't say I never do nothing for them.
And then it clean up the artery, keep the arteries clean. Yeah.
And then you have this omega 369 1000 mg.
Right. That's Ambrosia now. Ambrosia now having their own labels now. We stop buying things from other people. We have to keep our thing in the black community. We love the black community. So what we do, we have Ambrosia Health Foods. They have they have selenium, they have omega 3s, they have multivitamin for men and women. So we'd have to go and buy from somebody else. Yeah.
Somebody have a question. It says, I'm going to take a risk here. So I've been having lumps in my breast 2020. I had my first surgery. I had 4 more since. The last being last April. I now have lumps under the area and it swells when I use the arm for a while. I refuse to do a biopsy or another mammogram. It is really hard.
Mammograms are terrible too. Although I don't fight it down, but it's a terrible thing to do. She have to look at the hormones. So when you have lumps under the arm, lumps in the groin, lumps in the neck, tell me that the lymphatic system is stagnated. So, and then if she's a woman and she's under 50, we know for a fact now that she can't be producing too much prolactin. She could have what we call fibrocystic breast disease. Vitamin E is good for that. Get 1,000 IU of vitamin E, take that regular, and then just drain her lymphatic system. She could use cleaver, she can use violet leaf, she can use red clover, she can use echinacea, and these herbs help to drain the lymphatic system, and the lumps goes away. And she can use some castor on the lumps too. Castor packs on the lumps, and the lumps will go away too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Men, Patrick, prostate cancer.
Yeah. ED too. Impotence too. The young man now is dying at 45, 39, prostate cancer.
But how are you on that and you have erectile dysfunction? You were saying to me you had men in their 20s having
29,
the erectile dysfunction.
ED, yeah.
What causes that?
Too much rum.
So too much alcohol.
Too much alcohol, yeah. Alcohol. So a lot of
men say when they drink alcohol, they perform.
That's only the beginning though. So only that's old. That's a myth though. Alcohol depletes zinc. Alcohol depletes the B complex in excess. Yeah. Zinc is found 2 places. Yeah. It's good for the immune system because why? It's found in the thymus gland, right here. See. So if you don't have lots of zinc in this gland, the gland shrinks prematurely. You get cancer faster. Thymus gland, that is. As we grow, it shrinks too. But zinc is also found in the men's prostate gland. So every time we ejaculate zinc. And if you're not eating the food that have it, long term, it's gonna kill your prostate gland. No sperm count. Can't breed nobody either. Woman can't breed. Sperm count low. And then again, you keep on ejaculating on a regular basis. I always tell men, once you pass the age of 30, you do not produce sperm every day. That's Chinese medicine now. You produce sperm every 3 days. So if you want to go and you want to kill that pussycat, you're going to kill the pussycat. Pussycat kill you eventually. Because you get impotent, so you get ED and the pussycat still live.
So you have to so you actually do it yourself more harm than good, right?
So look at all the men in Grenada who had lots of children. They died from prostate cancer, including my father. He had 30 kids.
How much?
30 children my father had.
30?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, he died from prostate cancer.
Okay.
And other men I could name here who had 48 children and they died from prostate cancer too, because and in those days there was no TV, no radio, everything is about sex. And they did not know how important the prostate was. So we used to call it stoppage of water.
Yeah, you remember hearing that.
With the can't pee.
Water. Yes,
right, that's what we call BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia, when the prostate become enlarged. And then because the prostate is not part of the urinary system, but because of where it is located on the urethra that carries the urine, if it becomes swollen, it can squeeze the urethra. We can't pee no more. So a lot of men have that too. But now is no prostate cancer.
And what causes prostate cancer?
As I said, cholesterol, high cholesterol could also deposit in a man's prostate gland, causing him to get prostate cancer. Yeah. If the man do not put a stool in front of his toilet bowl and put his feet on top of that stool,
I have a stool in front of my.
you must do
my
that.
toilet bowl.
Waste matter could, although the prostate have capsules, it can stick in the capsule and cause the man to get prostate cancer also. So we must squat.
But you know, interestingly enough, when I went to China, on the airport itself, that was my very first like culture shock. They had bathrooms, and you walked into the bathroom like an ordinary bathroom.
That's
That I'm looking for the normal
Yeah, that's stoop
toilet
down,
bowl,
that's squat.
and all I saw was a hole in
Mhm,
the
in the
ground.
ground, yeah.
And I'm like, so
Yeah.
I went back out and I'm asking the lady, where is? She says,
That's what it is.
right there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this reminds me of growing up, like when you grew up, you have your outside pit toilets and you're squatting.
Mhm.
So you literally had to squat. So they
Yeah.
literally squat. I mean,
Mhm.
they do have modern bathrooms,
Yeah.
but there are places where you will find the
Yeah.
hole in the ground, and of course you pump and flush.
Yeah.
But you have to squat
Gotta
over.
squat.
So
Because
that's the
because when we don't squat and our feet is on the ground, there's a part of the colon called the sigmoid colon,
Mhm.
and that's coming around to the rectum area. And what it does, it don't relax if your feet is on the ground. It squeezes, and then some of the waste stays there. So you could get a few things from that: polyps in the colon, hemorrhoids, or trouble in the prostate, because in around that area corresponds to the woman's uterus and the man's prostate gland too.
Mhm.
So that's the reason why when the doctor put his hand on your rectum, you can feel the prostate there.
Mhm.
If it's too hard, he will say, "Look, up there, you have prostate cancer." So he will do a PSA. Is a cancer marker of men's prostate gland. Like a woman's cancer marker is a CA 15.3. If the cancer is on the breast, the CA going to rise. If the cancer is moving from the breast to the lung, the marker lung woman, the doctor going to take a cancer marker called CA 27.29. That will tell him now if the cancer is moving from the woman's breast to the lung. If the man PSA is more than 4.0, the doctor will be alarmed and say, "Listen, you look at you have prostate cancer. Let us do a biopsy of the prostate gland to see there's cancer in the prostate." The biopsies are good because they can determine if you have prostate cancer, but they can make the cancer spread to if it's there. And they don't tell men that we men can have a low PSA and don't have cancer, or we can have a low PSA and also have cancer. And we can have a high PSA and don't have cancer, and we can have a high PSA and also have cancer too. So it's kind of tricky. So what I ask men to do is ask your doctor for a free PSA, FREE PSA with the PSA. So that if the free PSA is lower, then you know for a fact you're more prone to have prostate cancer. So that's what our men have to learn. Yeah.
So what are they doing that we have so much? Are
Eating
they doing or
wrong.
not doing? Again, the food is
Food. I don't eat in the nighttime, you know. Nighttime is for sleeping. I always tell women and men that nighttime is to sleep. You're going on Wall Street to see people in the morning, 1 o'clock, burning a set of food. It's crazy. It's no good. Now, all your organs, and no doctors could do that either. When we up all day, these organs are working. As soon as we drop asleep, everything starts regenerating. The glands,
that's what the rest is for.
the rest of that's why God created sleep, you know. The glands between 8 p.m. and 1 a.m., endocrine glands, pituitary, hypothalamus, adrenals, thyroid, they all trying to regenerate. Between 1 and 3 in the morning, your liver is not getting cleaned up.
That's when people start to beat alcohol and food.
Between 3 and 4:30, your kidney is not picking up toxins and acid from the tissues of the body to chuck it out into your urine every day. So you must pee in the morning when you get up. You must pee something wrong with you.
Yeah.
And when you pee, I want you to take that pee and put it on a strip. It must be acidic. It must be between 5.0, 6.5 acidic, not alkaline, because the kidney's picking them up.
I have to test it.
So if you're eating every night and you're not doing the right thing, you're going to get sick eventually because the body's not regenerating. So the only thing that stays awake when you're sleeping is the airs. Yeah. Although the heart works, but they don't work as much. They liver does, but they don't work as much either. So we have to look at how we are, our lifestyle, make the lifestyle changes. And that's the reason why lots of women and men who have cancer, they can't fix it because They go back doing the same thing. The doctor take off the breast, give them chemotherapy, and give them tamoxifen for 5 years and said, you are in remission. Remission doesn't mean a cure, though. You're only in remission. Cancer could come back.
Anything is
5 years, 10 years. And they give them tamoxifen if it's ER breast cancer. After 5 years, they have to take them off tamoxifen. Why? Because tamoxifen causes uterine cancer long term. You see what I'm saying? And then the cancer come back. You see what I'm saying to you, Aruna?
I'm depressed right now.
So you got to prevent the cancer from coming back. So you go to the doctor, doctor say, you said, Doc, what can I eat? He said, go back and eat anything. So you go back and you eating the same food that give you the cancer in the first place, it can come back. So I had 2 ladies came to me in New York with cancer. They both, one is 69, one is 59. They have breast cancer. They have ER breast cancer. So she said to me, why do I get ER breast cancer? Because I'm postmenopausal. I said, yes. But the doctor didn't tell you that your cancer came from your HPA axis. Mark it down, woman. Mark it down for me. HPA axis.
Hold on, let me write it for myself too.
Yeah, it's called hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenals. So the woman who is over 50 and don't have a period now.
Somebody in the live, just write it in the thing so I can pin it, please.
Wonderful. It's called HPA axis. PA axis. HP, hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenals, because they work together. Now, the pituitary controls the thyroid gland. The pituitary controls the adrenals. The pituitary controls the woman's ovaries. And the pituitary gland controls the pancreas and men's testicles. So when the woman passed 50, no hormones, she going through hot flashes, her hypothalamus gland and the pituitary and the adrenal don't work together. So the adrenal says to the pituitary, yo, she's over 50. She's not producing too much estrogen. I want you, the pituitary, to produce lots of prolactin. So the pituitary says, okay, I'm going to produce lots of prolactin. The woman get what? A tumor in her pituitary gland. It's called pituitary tumor from high prolactin levels. That's number one for the younger woman. The older woman now, the pituitary gland say, hey, I'm going to produce lots of prolactin. So the prolactin receptors now is going to say, estrogen, I want you to produce lots of it too. So the woman who's over 50 now, she have the HPA axis causing her to get ER breast cancer. You see what I'm saying?
I know I'm stressed.
You got to teach the woman, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm stressed because, I mean, like I said, it requires a lot of discipline and you can't get away from it and then go back to it. And you can't start and stop. It has to be on a consistent basis in order for you to be on track. Somebody here is asking, though, before we go, is there a cure or medicine for cervical inflammation? Cervical
dysplasia. If the person do a pap smear and she have cervical dysplasia, doesn't have cancer, you know. It's just that the cell is just changing. Just sick cell. It's called inflammation of the cervix. Inflammate that want to give you the inflammatory work for that. Cytokine inflammate.
Cytokine,
that's work for that. Yeah. Okay. And folate acid.
Give me all you have it never here, Papa.
So if she have any kind of inflammation of the cervix, she can use the turmeric is good too. But you can use the folate acid, and so folate acid turn back the cells from being dysplasia into the right cell, and it goes away. You know.
Someone here is saying that's why I do the intermittent fasting at night. I stop eating at 7 p.m. and don't start back eating until 11 a.m. next day. Is that a good thing?
Wonderful. And that's why people shouldn't eat a early breakfast with sugars, because the pancreas is not active till 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. And that's important.
Another person is asking, what's the best vitamin for perimenopause?
There is a company called Rainbow Light that make good products for that, and it's all from food based. So look up Rainbow Light and look for the one that mark a multivitamin for women over 50, and that will help her also too. Yeah.
PCOS. Like we had to do a day when we come back and answer questions.
Polycystic ovarian syndrome. We have a program called For Women Only. And that program, because when you have PCOS, the woman is producing what we call man hormone androgens, so she get beard and stuff like that. So we put the woman on a program it's called For Women Only. You could go to the website and get it, patrickdelsholistichealing.com. You can go to the website, look at that program, and it tells you how to fix your PCOS, how to treat your breast cancer, your ovarian cancer, your cervical cancer, by using natural stuff, you know, and you're going to get real results. I just showed you one from Africa, right?
Yes, the message from Africa. Yes, from the lady. Yeah. So that is what you call a
testimonial. Yeah, because she's doing much better now. No pain.
She's doing better.
She couldn't sleep
going months of having pain. from her breast cancer and pain in her bones. And the person said after 8 months they're able to have a good night rest. You know, so that's an awesome testimony.
Yeah.
Would it be good to have some bullet points of look, you want to help me with that? Yeah. So where can we find you? What's the website? And how can folks get in touch with you? Because it seems as though your phone is going to be ringing off the hook again.
And the website is Patrick Delves, holistichealing.com. If you are from Grenada,
somebody type in the website for me.
Yeah, Patrick Delves, holistichealing.com. And if you are from Grenada, don't go to the website because we are here and we have things here for Grenadians only.
Okay, so who can they contact here?
Right, they can do 420-0856. 0856 or 416-2310 in Grenada. So Grenadians don't have to go on the website because we supply 0856.
0856.
Yeah.
And the other number?
416-2310.
2310. All right. So you can contact those numbers if you're here. So if the website is for folks more
I'm abroad, yeah.
All right.
And then we can, if I'm in New York, you get 631-530-2329.
631-530-2329.
Yeah.
2329. 2329.
Yeah, and looking for them scammers because them scammers take my name too.
631-530-2329.
Yeah, 2329. Okay, and because if you have to look for the scammer, don't forget my Facebook page. I have a blue dot.
Look for the blue tick.
Yeah, because a lot of fake pages are there of me, so I have to be very careful.
All right.
And don't the number there, so you can use the numbers. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna have to. I know you're busy. I know you have to be flying here, there, and everywhere.
We're going to St. Lucia. Thursday, we in St. Lucia next Thursday for 4 days, and then we go from St. Lucia, we go to Trinidad. After Trinidad, we go come back here and we go to New York again. We flying tongue to sweet Jamaica on the 3rd of May to the 13th of May. Brother, I think it's Brother Jay is on the live also. We're gonna go. We have a nice retreat in Jamaica, and we're gonna have a retreat here in Grenada in August.
Okay, looking forward to that.
Yeah? This is my assistant here, called Hagley.
Okay, so that's where we can find you. So that's how we get here. So that's the numbers you can call to get your so he'll take care of you. All right, fantastic. I need to find some time with you too when we can answer questions. So we'll organize that because there's a lot of questions and I'm almost and I'm out of time.
Yes.
So I won't be able to take some of the questions, but I'm gonna book a date with him so we can come back and just answer your questions. All right. So hope that works. So
that's all.
Thanks so much, bro.
All right,
thanks so much as always.
You call me, I'm coming.
Thanks so much. Always love. All right, guys. That's it for today. I'll catch you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you so much for powering up.
Ladies Room comes to you compliments of Renwick and Thompson Limited, Beacon Insurance, and Nirvana Health Spa, Detox Center and Natural Health Store.
Begins at Nirvana Health Spa, Detox